You know, it's interesting.
What is?
After 22 years of living in the South, there's still some cultural Southern... Would you even call it culture? Like,
yeah,
there's certain Southern traditions and things.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, that's cultural
stuff.
100%.
Okay, that I just don't get.
Okay,
don't know.
Like,
I think my hang up with a lot of the Southern culture is maybe like the way Southern people speak sometimes.
I mean, we do say some really funny stuff,
and then like some of the
ways.
Things you say.
Yes. Like, we have idioms and things. Like, when there's a rain shower outside, like, it's sunny, but it's raining.
Yeah.
That's the devil beating his wife. Like, for that. Like, that kind of thing.
So, that one I heard recently.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that, like, even though I lived here for 20 years. Okay, so I was born in Connecticut, as you know, but the listeners don't know.
Right.
Born in Connecticut. When I was 4, moved down here to the South. Yeah. So, I'm 26 now, so 22 years living here. Yeah. But you would think like, oh, you're probably saying it right now. You're from Tennessee at this point. You're a Southerner at this point. No. Not quite, actually. No. So my parents are hard Northerners. Yeah. So my mom was born in North Dakota, but lived in New England her whole life. And then my dad was born in Connecticut and didn't move down here till I was 4. So he would have been 34, right? Right. So they made it a point. They made it a point to make sure that I was not a part of the Southern culture. Right. And they definitely, like, I'm not saying, like, now as an adult, like 26 years old, like, I'm not saying like there's something wrong with it or like it's not okay or anything like that. It was just like, okay, it's not okay to go running around in the grass barefooted. Like, it's not okay to not necessarily talk like that, but they definitely didn't want me to pick up on the Southern drawl, basically. Right, yeah. So they tried to make sure, and they didn't make friends. They are not friends with people down here. Like my parents definitely were biased, were shunned, kind of. Oh yeah, for being definitely Yankees, especially for sure. 22 years ago. Yeah, no, I mean even now there's people who are like, you damn Yankees, like, which is god awful and needs to stop. But I mean it still happens. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, my dad said it's gotten better throughout the years just because this area has gotten the university and there's just more people who just are moving around and people don't care too much anymore. But he says when he definitely goes out into the areas surrounding this small city, he gets it more. So definitely. He was out in his Jeep and he accidentally ripped the gear shift out by accident. It's a little janky in reverse, so when he put it in reverse, he accidentally popped it out. So he was like, shit. So he had to like stop, pull over, and he was in the middle of nowhere looking at property. So he had a it was a screwdriver on Jesus. Him. So he was trying to rig it up and fix his gear shift. And when some older guy his age had stopped and was like, hey man, you okay? Your impression of a Southern accent is adorable. Thanks. You're welcome. So when my dad got asked this question, he knew when he opened his mouth it was gonna be a hey, good fucking luck, buddy. So my dad was like, nah man, like I'm fine. Like everything, like he's like, I just popped the gear shift out of place. The Southerner didn't say anything and just drove off. Yep. Totally normal. So I said it with my accent, but my dad's accent is... Oh, his is so much thicker. So much. Like, very obviously not from here. Very like, obviously. You could maybe pass just because, like, especially in the city here, like, people don't talk with so much of a drawl, but, like, they have kind of more of a neutral accent. Yes, and, like a neutral... Your dad's straight up, like, fucking Connecticut, like, so hard. So he has, like a mix, because... How do you have a Connecticut accent, right? Well, so yeah, I mean, it's just some of the words that you say and just how you say it. It's like they're a little sharper. They're a little. Some of the vowels are drawn a little bit differently. So it's not like a Jersey. It's not like a New York. It's not like a Mass. It's like definitely a mix of some. So he's always made fun of because we say noodle. Yeah. Right. Instead which of is my favorite. Noodle is noodle. You know, get some pasta, get some noodles up in here. Right. We say off. Yeah. We say coffee. That's my favorite. Water. I enjoy it. I said water when I went to the restaurant because I don't get soft drinks. So I was like, I want a water to drink. Yeah. And I said it just like that. And the kid looks at me and goes, where are you from? And I said, oh shit, what did I say? Because I try not to bring attention to myself like that. And so I do catch myself doing draws now and saying, I catch myself saying y'all. Yes. It's my favorite thing whenever you say y'all. I'm like,
Got him. It's great.
Because up north we say yous guys.
Right, which is so funny to me.
Because I'll be like, you guys, or I say you guys.
Right.
Even though guys is
right,
masculine. But
whatever.
it's up north, it's you fuckers. Like, whatever. So I try not to call, when I was teaching my class, I try not to say you fuckers. So I would say yous guys, and every once in a while I would slip and say y'all, and I'm like, fuck. Don't say that. Don't say that. Dude. So I got to thinking of some of the idioms. Yeah. Because we don't have that up north.
Right. And like, I was thinking about it actually the other day because I had, when I'm at work, I work in a retail store and it's like a sports store. So everybody that comes in has a real thick accent. Oh, yeah. So every time I'm there, my accent comes out because you guys don't notice it so much now. Like, it's a little bit there, but like, it straight up goes into, how are y'all doing today? Like, bad.
Your customer service
voice
it's bad. Is like a Southern Belle.
Yeah. It's rough.
Southern accent because I was standing there talking to you and then I stood off to the side and then you were like, how y'all doing today?
It really is like straight up goes, it's bad. So I did that to somebody and this couple was not from here, which I didn't realize because the man, when he walked up, his accent was so neutral. And then the woman spoke and I was like, oh shit, oh no. And she was like, man, I just really like your accent. And I was like, well, thank you so much. It comes out a lot worse when I'm here. Yep. Ha 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 ha. Yep. And she was like, no, it's great. I just really enjoy hearing people from the South talk.
Oh, was she from up north?
I don't know where she was from. I think so. Okay. I think she was from up north.
Just obviously not here.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, God. Because it could go one of two ways. Like, I always say y'all. And like, I've even had people come in and they're like, yeah, it's coming out a little bit because I'm saying
I know you're getting into character.
Someone came up to me and I was like, hey, y'all, how you doing? And she goes, I'm so glad you didn't say you guys because I'm not a guy. And I was like, oh, mercy me. Okay. So I had to make sure to say y'all because sometimes I'll say, you know, you guys have a great day or something. And she just would get real mad.
It's just...
People are bananas.
That's just sensitive. Like, just, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, and it's not harmful. Like, it's not oppressing you.
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
Just, hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
Like, so I get grouped in as, like, you guys, and I'm not sitting here like, oh, my girl. It's just, it's a greeting. It's just, you collectively, like, they, them, you're just inclusive.
Yes.
It's just an inclusive word.
Which I think is why I like the word y'all so much. Because it is more gender neutral than saying you guys. Because it is you all. Like, how are y'all doing? Instead of, how are you guys doing? So I tried to, instead of saying y'all, I would say, how are you all doing today? Yes.
So at least making that step of breaking it apart and pronunciating the vowels.
Right.
And the consonants and all that stuff that are actually there.
Correct.
So. Yeah.
But I have noticed that, like, my husband's from New Jersey. So he'll say water. So that's where he puts the, like, the hard, what's that called? Enunciation.
Yeah.
The enunciation on A. And I say water. No, he says water. I say water. So, like, it's a hard, long A instead of a short A.
Yeah.
So it's just, accents are weird.
Yes, it's so funny because I would come home to my northern household, right? And then I would go out to school, which would definitely be a southern thing. So sometimes I would come home. My parents would correct me and make sure that I didn't have the draw and stuff like that. So I would say, I mean, everyone has an accent to some degree, right? But I would say now my accent is a little bit more neutral.
Yes.
When I get mad, though.
Oh, it comes out bad.
It does.
It's real bad.
So I acknowledge that, and I know that's there. But coming home and then being out in public all day long, talking to students, talking to you, talking to whoever.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing northern accents, I'm hearing southern accents. So then I'll come home and then my dad talks and it's just like,
whoa,
this is great. Like, this is fantastic. So last night my dad was watching Black Panther. May that actor rest in peace. That's so terrible.
Yeah.
I hated that. So it was on last night in remembrance of that actor. So he talks to the TV. He always talks during movies, and so I can just hear him just rattling off blah blah blah, just saying it's just another night in this household, not a big deal. So he's doing his thing, and I'm just like, are you good in there? Are you okay? So at the very end, I'm standing there watching it with him, and I get a drink of water in my mouth. At a very unfortunate time, because at the very end of the movie, the little kid goes up to the Black Panther. I don't know what his character's name is.
T'Challa.
T'Challa.
Mm-hmm. King T'Challa.
Okay. So the little kid goes up to T'Challa and he goes, "Who are you?" Mm-hmm. And at that time, I had just put water in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh no!
My dad goes, "I'm the guy," and I just fucking lost it. I spit water. I was like, "Really? I'm the guy. I'm the guy over here." So that was. He just puts it on thick sometimes, and so. Also, another thing that he and I will do is he'll say, he won't ever say, go get that X item in X in Y location, right? He's like, go get the thing over there. Yeah. So I started being like, is it over there or is it over here? And so he'll say, if he says over there, I'll say, it's over here. And then if he goes, go get the thing over here, I'll be like, it's over there. So
you're a mess. Goodness gracious.
So I always... So he's like, I don't sound like that. Yeah. It's okay.
It does kind of.
It's okay, it's but great. Yes, you do. So,
I mean, to be fair, like, my mom and I, my mom is, like, born and raised in the South, like, hardcore. Hard. So, like, she doesn't say things like washing machine. She'll say washing machine or a washer. And, I mean, that's just, you know, the where she was born, how she talks. But... there'll be times when she'll say something and then we'll intentionally go back and forth and it's like, where's the thing at? Is it over yonder? Is it? And it drives her nuts. She's like, that's not what I sound like. Like, it is what you sound like, Mom. Over yonder. It is. And then she'll come back with, no, it's over yonder out the window. And I'm like, Mama, quit. It's we can go forever. Because then I'll usually shoot back with, oh, it's over yonder out the window in the holler. And it goes forever. It's so much fun.
The holler.
Yeah.
Over yonder.
Over yonder out the window.
What's the one that you told me?
Which one?
I'm sorry, what?
I said witchin'. Witchin'.
Witchin'.
We also cut letters off of words.
Yes.
Real good.
There's letters there, I promise.
They're implied.
The gaggle one, the one where it's uneven.
Side-goggling.
Yeah, side-goggling. Yeah.
So that one's actually specifically out of a small region in... one of the Carolinas.
The Appalachians?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that one of the people, it's actually from a documentary called Mountain Talk, where they go into like a very small rural city, or town really, and talk to a bunch of people just to, you know, hey, what are some of the words you use? Like, this is a language that is slowly just diminishing over time because there's still that like very hurtful belief that anybody from the South who talks like that is an idiot, which is not true.
Which is not true, but unfortunately that is the bias.
Which sucks, but here we are. But they went into this little town and like just started asking old timers like, hey, what's some
Give
words?
Me your best word.
Yeah, like shoot some at me. And there's this one guy that's like, well, I mean, you just come up with words like when you look at something and it's not straight, like when you're looking at a floor and there's supposed to be a straight angle and there's not a straight angle. Well, that there's side-goggling. And that's what he says. And it's precious. Like, it's the sweetest thing. But yeah, that's one of those words that I learned from there.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And another one of my favorites is it's airish outside. Which
the fuck does that mean?
Airish.
What is it?
It means
yes, there is air outside. Thank you.
It means that it's a little cold. Like Airish. I think northern people would say it's a little nippy outside.
Yeah,
like it's a little cold.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's airish.
Nippy.
Yeah. So fun times. I love talking about that. That's my favorite. I'm very passionate about the southern idioms and the language because it is dying out and it shouldn't because it has its own beauty to it.
It does because there's definitely a lot of idioms that you have to be a part of the culture, and because my father was for a brief time married to a Southern woman, and we would go over to their gatherings, and so we're just sitting there like so out of place.
What the fuck are they saying?
What are they saying? And I think my favorite is whenever an older person is talking to a younger person, it's like, I haven't seen you since you were knee high to a grasshopper.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's really cute. Like just the stuff that we come up with. It's great.
Yes. We don't have idioms up north. We just kind of say
whatever
things differently.
Yeah.
I know one of the discussions we had was we call sprinkles jimmies.
That's crazy to me.
I don't know. Maybe we didn't have that discussion.
I don't know. Maybe
it was with your husband, Gary, that I had that discussion with. It's like, do you call sprinkles jimmies? I was like, my dad calls it jimmies, and I know what he's saying or what he means. So I'm having that translation. He's like, give me the jimmies. And I'm like, all right, I'll get the sprinkles. We don't say pop, though.
Right.
We say soda.
Okay, see. It's fairly common across the South to say Coke for any kind of soda.
Everything, yes.
Yes. Which drives me nuts. But, I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Like, give me a Coke. Okay, do you want a Pepsi? Do you want a Coke? Do you want a Mountain Dew? And then you list off all the things, and it's, well, what kind of Coke you got?
What kind of
and then,
soft drink would you like?
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Or madam.
Sir or madam. Friendo.
That
one's my fave.
So I brought that up for a reason, because while I was doing my research last night, something popped up, and I'm going to tell you about it when I get there.
Okay, good.
Because when I was reading it, I was like, what the because I've taken history classes.
Yeah.
I've taken honors, AP, IB, history classes, like a fucking doesn't. I mean,
me too.
It doesn't. It never mattered. It never amounted to anything because I'm in engineering. So
it is what it is.
So I'm versed in the wars. I might not know the specific, but I know a war when I see one. Yeah. And something came up and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I remembered a conversation you and I had. Yeah. And I was like, it was I want to get there. Okay. Because I want to tell you about it so bad. Okay. So are you ready to flip that coin?
Let's do our coin flip.
Let's do our coin flip.
And see who goes first.
Okay. What do you want?
Tails.
Tails this time?
Give me tails.
Okay. I'm going to try not to hit the mic.
I believe in you. Woo.
Fuck.
Ooh. Ooh.
I don't know where that went.
Heads. I just picked it up and flipped it.
Oh. Yeah. Wait, did you actually find it?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I rolled over to me.
Oh, okay.
And then I picked it up and flipped it. And it's on heads.
So that means...
You first?
I go.
Yes. So you can tell me about your thingy.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that actually works out.
Let's go.
I feel like I always lose the coin toss.
No. You won this time.
You consider this winning?
Yes.
Going first?
Yes. Yeah. Because it means you get through your thing, and then you can focus completely on how scary mine is.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mine's pretty good. I got actually a lot of good ghost stories with this one.
Tell me.
So my topic,
yes,
as I wanted to bring up the northern culture, because that comes into play in this, is the Moon River Brewing Company in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah,
so
I love Savannah.
I know you know a little bit about it just because Ghost Adventures went there.
Yes.
But I have a little bit more to tell me, and also tell our listeners about this lovely, lovely place. So, in the spring of 1999, two gentlemen by the name of Jean Vico and John Pinkerton. This whole episode, or my whole research, has last names I can't pronounce, and I'm so excited.
Beautiful. That's another reason I'm happily staying within the U.S. so far.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while until I go back out of the U.S. So, practice some last names first, and then we'll branch out to names we don't know. So here we go. So those two gentlemen founded the brewing company. They wanted to have a restaurant tied in with the brewing company so they can serve their beer on tap and also have that unique restaurant experience. The brewery is still open today. Yes. They do dine-in food stuff, and they also do ghost tours.
That's awesome.
So they do the both. It's open. You don't have to, you just walk in kind of thing. It's not like some...
Okay. Not like you have to make reservations.
I don't, unless it does get...
Well, I mean, if you have 20 people,
busy season, but
nice.
It's open. So open to the public, go in, do your thing, whatever you want to do. So the reason why you're like a brewing company, why is a brewing company haunted? So it is because it is located in one of the oldest and most historic buildings in Savannah.
Right. And I mean, Savannah itself is pretty fucking old.
Fucking old and haunted.
Yeah.
So this building is also extremely haunted, and it is one of the most haunted. This building is one of the most haunted buildings in Savannah. It's like
already pre-haunted.
Oh yeah, so let me tell you the history about it, because
preheat your oven, pre-haunt your houses. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I don't want to pre-haunt my place. So a gentleman by the name of Laser Early, originally from Charleston, South Carolina, moved to Savannah and built the building that the brewing company is in today. But it first started off as a hotel called City Hotel in 1821. So we're going back a little ways before the Civil War.
Right.
That comes into play. So it's the first hotel that started in Savannah, and it also hosted the first U.S. Post Office branch in Savannah.
Nice.
And also had the first branch Bank of the United States in Savannah as well. So nice. It was a hotel that had a bar, the post office, and a bank.
Nice. Wow.
So
that's a pretty hopping building.
Wrap it all up. Oh, it was definitely hopping. It was a very popular hotel. A lot of notable people stayed there that were famous at the time, kind of came through. It was probably the most happening place in Savannah a little bit around the time. But because it was so happening and there was a bar, violent interactions were not uncommon.
Of course.
Because of politicians and businessmen. It was just... It
also
was
booze.
Booze, right. So not a good place a lot. There was definitely a lot of bar fights. So in 1851, so 30 years later, Peter Wiltberger bought the hotel.
Okay.
And to bring more attraction to the hotel, had a live lion and lioness.
Oh yeah, because that's
display.
smart.
Yeah, well, we're in the 1850s.
Cool. Yeah, let's big meat eater delicious thing around a lot of people who are intoxicated.
Also
Great plan.
Also meat, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. So that was just a side note that.
I am surprised.
It just brought in a lot of people, more people to the bars and had violent. So fun stuff. So in 1860, which is the years approaching the Civil War, Northern visitors to the hotel, because it had a lot of visitors.
Certainly.
Northern visitors were often harassed because it is Savannah, Georgia.
That makes sense.
A gentleman by the name of James Sinclair was lynched.
Oh, God, no.
He is a Northerner, and apparently he just did not make the locals happy being there. So a lynch mob started, and they tried to lynch him, but he survived. He did get get put up on the noose and all that, but he apparently was cut down and he was fine. So he was not killed. So there was definitely a lot of animosity in between all this.
Yeah.
With the Civil War coming in and whatnot. So even with the Civil War in 1864, the building ceased being a hotel.
Okay.
And started to become... Oh, this is why I brought up our first intro.
Okay.
The building was no longer active as a hotel when the War of Northern Aggression started.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. I hate that phrase so much more than anything else in the whole wide world. I was taught that I was taught that was what it was called in school.
That's nuts.
What the fuck, right? Like, no. It was not the War of Northern Aggression.
Okay, so let's back up, because if you don't live in the South, you don't know that, because I did not know that until we had that conversation like 6 months ago.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So as I was reading the website, so most of my information came from the Brewing Company's website. And as I'm reading through, it's talking about, as I'm telling you now, the history. And I was reading it, and it said that the building stopped becoming a hotel during the War of Northern Aggression. So I thought to myself, that I'm well-versed in wars. What the fuck is the War of Northern Aggression?
Which is a legitimate question. What the fuck is it?
But then I realized that is what the Southerners call the Civil War.
Which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
Like, come on, y'all.
So I thought that was hilarious that they put that on their website, that they call the Civil War the War of Northern Aggression.
And I mean, for a city that is so progressive like Savannah, like, what?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
You have a freaking art college in your town. You can't be...
A very well-known art college in your town.
Yes, you can't be saying the War of Northern Aggression. Like, good lord.
Yeah, but they did. It's on their website. So, fun history fact. That's why I brought up the whole Northern and Southern thing. Because I read that and I was like... Ugh.
Yeah, that ties in really well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I thought you would get a kick.
Yeah, that raised my blood pressure, that's for sure.
I need to ask my dad if he knows that.
If he knows what the War of Northern Aggression is.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Like, literally nobody from the North knows what that is, and they're like, what the fuck? Is there a war I didn't learn about? And then it's, that's what the side that lost called it? Okay, well, there's a reason you lost.
But that's crazy, because I went through the whole school system here.
Yeah.
And I never knew that.
Yeah.
It was, thankfully, apparently I've had enough progressive teachers to not teach that.
That, and it was taught to me as that in middle school. Like younger, because I'm a couple of years older than you.
2 years.
So yeah, so like it was called that with like my old timer like teachers.
That's why I had young and teachers.
Right. So
because I went to a brand new school.
Right. Yeah. See, I was in the old poor schools because I'm a poor person. So here we are.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
if it makes you feel better, I'm poor too. I just don't know how I got into the
zoning.
Oh yeah, because the brand new school was built there at the bottom of the mountain from me. So
exactly. But that's a fun fact that if anyone of our listeners is not from the South, literally anywhere else in the world, that's what Southern people call the Civil War, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Any Southern friends, ask them if they know what the War of Northern Aggression is. And if you have any Northern friends, ask them what the North.
If you want to piss somebody off, ask them
Northern Aggression.
Oh, God.
Does it piss you off?
It
even though you're from the South?
It pisses me off that it's called that, because it wasn't the War of Northern Aggression, because a lot of Southerners view that whole issue, like the whole war, as something that the Northerners were trying to quote-unquote take away our states' rights. Like, they turn it into a states' rights issue instead of a slavery issue.
Yeah.
Which is what a big portion of it was.
Not all, but big.
Right. I mean, yeah, there was some states' rights stuff in there, but there was a much bigger problem.
Slavery.
Right. Like, if we had been, like, if the South as a whole had been more aware of, that's really wrong, maybe we should look into a different economic way to survive, we would have been fine. But no.
I know. But here we are.
Here we are. That's why the South is really fucking poor. Because we didn't look at it and go, hey, this is not something that we should do.
This is not a viable solution. We should probably look into something else. No.
Exactly. No, they stayed in their fucking ways, and here we are.
Here we are. So I think you're more upset about it, because I just laugh.
Yeah, no, it makes me angry, because they're like, I know people who were like, no, the War of Northern Aggression was fought, and we lost, and they destroyed our way of life, and we have been economically crippled ever since. And I'm like, yeah, we were economically crippled, but that was because of our own idiocy. Like, yeah, nah. Okay. But
as a Northerner, because we also don't realize that Civil War battles are reenacted.
Yes.
I didn't know that until probably long into living here.
Yeah.
And I think Northern people, when they hear that, they just kind of laugh, and it's like, why are you reenacting battles you lost? But here we are.
That's something that blows my mind. Like, I can understand from a historical perspective, like, this is something that, you know, we want to remember happened so it never happens again.
Right.
That kind of thing I can get behind, but I recently found out, because my husband went to school in Michigan. Michigan has Civil War reenactments. Michigan.
The fuck? Why?
No battles were ever fought in Michigan. None. Like, there were battles fought in Tennessee and Kentucky because we were border states.
Right.
Why the fuck are people in Michigan doing that?
Michigan's like the redneck state of the North.
Michigan's wild.
Michigan is wild.
Like,
it's interesting. I have a friend that lives up there. He goes, yeah, you wouldn't think.
No.
But it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Crazy. So.
Back on point.
Back on point. So it's okay.
Tangent.
No, it's okay. I knew that was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are. So in 1864, the building was no longer a hotel. It was converted into a makeshift hospital for the Confederate Army. So here we are. But of course, having those sick people there, those wounded people there, having that negative energy of people dying and then all that stuff, they theorized that with all the people dying and the crying out and all that not fun stuff. It's a war, not fun.
Yeah, not fun stuff.
That negative energy is still present in the upper floor. So the third,
which is reasonable.
Yes, it's totally a thing that happens. So in the third and the fourth floor, where they said in the fourth floor is where where the hospital was. So all the way up on the fourth floor. I don't know why, but it's just that's where they held the hospital, and it's not a good place to be. So so those stories will be coming up. So even after the war, the epidemic of yellow fever in 1876, the building was once again used as another hospital for the people of the yellow fever.
Ooh, and that was not a good way to die.
No, so most of the patients there were children.
Oh, mercy, yeah.
So there's some reminiscence, some leftover residual energy of children running around in the third and fourth floor of the building.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so...
Kids get me, dude.
With those two periods, those two reasons to have the hospitals, that's definitely theorized why the upper floors are so haunted and why this building is so haunted.
Yeah.
There's also rumor that slaves were in the basement.
Well, I mean, it was Savannah.
Right. But that wasn't ever like documented or stated anywhere. It was just a theory.
Okay.
Kind of like it might have happened, but statistically, historically, probably did. So, but I didn't find anything on that.
Right.
So that's just an aside. At the beginning of the 1900s, the building that was once this hotel was turned into a lumber and coal warehouse. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, they didn't do anything with it. It probably was degraded and
just
looking bad at this point. So they just stored stuff in it. In the area, once the coal started to run dry, it was converted into a general storage building.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But then in the 1960s, so it went through a couple of phases of different purposes. So in the 1960s, it was converted into an office supply store.
Okay.
Outfitted with a printing press.
Ooh.
But
fancy.
When Hurricane David came in 1979, it ripped the roof off of the building. So that office supply store moved on.
Mm-hmm. As stupid as it is, I sometimes forget that like Savannah's on the coast.
Yep, it is a coast city. So that's
hurricanes
why it's
are a thing.
Old and hurricanes are a thing. So that natural disaster came through. Yeah. And wiped out the building. So the building sat vacant until 1995.
Okay.
When this
I was alive. Cool.
I was alive for 1 year. 1 year. I did the math real quick. I was like, 94. Okay. So building sat empty until the brewing company came in and was like, hey, we want to remodel this place. I think it was the brewing company that started it, but it said in 1995 renovations started for the brewing company. But apparently it took 4 years because the brewing company officially announced in 1999 they were open.
Right.
The renovations were not completed.
Okay.
Because, and this will start the haunting stories.
Okay.
So
I'm on board. I think I know.
So the first haunting story is that during the renovations of this building, the foreman who was in charge of the renovations, his wife was violently shoved down the stairs.
Oh, that's great.
Like, she was hurt so badly. And it never stated, like, what. She didn't die from the falling. But it was just injured big time enough that it was apparent she did not trip down the stairs.
Yeah, like someone pushed her.
Someone pushed her from the third floor flight of stairs.
Jesus.
It's rumored, it's like a folklore that the foreman resigned on spot and was like, we are done doing this.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, like, if I got injured doing something, Gary would be like, yeah, we're fucking out. Like, bye.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes. So that is why the first floor, the main floor, and the basement are the only ones that are renovated, which is where the brewing company holds its
stuff.
The restaurant and then all their stuff. Yeah. Because the upper floors are not renovated, because contractors get so spooked and actually get fucked with so hard that they won't do it anymore.
Damn.
So the upstairs remain in decay while the downstairs where the brewing company is actually has patrons and looks nice.
That's wild.
That's all that got done in that time period, in that 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, yeah, if somebody's getting pushed down the stairs, and like that's a common thing, like people getting hurt, thing. Like, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So that's one of the first hauntings that was kind of recorded. There is one gentleman I do want to talk about that also ties into some of the hauntings in the building. I say gentleman, but he's an asshole.
Ah, yes. Yep.
By the name of James Stark.
Okay.
He was a local to Savannah and was just an asshole in the City Hotels bar. So we're going to go back to the 1950s. He apparently started a lot of fights, started a lot of issues. He was known as a troublesome person in the Savannah local, right?
Right, okay.
He was a anti-Semitic,
Nope, don't like that.
Jewish person because he's a dickhead. So
don't like
there
that.
was a local doctor who was a Jew. His name is Dr. Philip Minnis.
Okay.
And they apparently went back and forth a lot because obviously the doctor was a Jew, Stark hated Jews.
Right.
So in 1832, they had gotten into an altercation.
Yeah.
And when Stark had reached into his pocket for something, the doctor pulled his firearm and shot him dead.
Okay.
Killed him.
Okay, yeah. You can only put up with so much trash.
Right.
Unfortunately.
So the doctor was sentenced, but then it was later retracted because no one liked James Stark.
Oh.
So it was just I forget the technical term that they used, but it was like a self-defense manslaughter. So like a justified manslaughter of he was defending himself and no one liked Stark, so the doctor was just kind of like, so he
even then, like, he was a doctor. He was more well-respected than...
Right, he went off
whatever
to
this fellow was.
Be a doctor for the Civil War, anyways. It was, doctors were few and far between, so they kind of needed him. So that Stark was killed upstairs.
Okay.
So one floor above where the bar actually sits.
Okay.
So any violent ghost activity that goes on upstairs is attributed to Stark.
Okay. Wow, what a dick.
So because apparently he was an asshole, violent person. So if things are thrown, people are shoved. Even if you hear a Sometimes the crack of a pistol can be heard upstairs, and that's Stark being killed.
Yeah. Oof.
He apparently does get really violent, and they ask patrons and tourists to not taunt.
Yeah.
But of course, Zach Bagel Bites went in there.
Oh, certainly. Oh, I can imagine. Like, oof.
And, yeah. So the ghosts are so violent, they ask people to just not interact with them.
Yeah.
And do stuff. So leading into the hauntings now, servers are reported that they are just often touched, pushed, slapped by ghosts. Aww. So the place is very violent, very active.
That's miserable. Do they get hazard pay? They should. I mean, damn, you're getting smacked by a ghost every day? Yeah, no, thank you. Can't even press charges.
No, because it's like, oh, something just grabbed me. Oh, well. Bottles and silverware are often seen being pushed or thrown.
Oh, I hate that.
Across the room. Employees ask patrons and investigators to not taunt or antagonize the ghosts because they sometimes do get violent. Yeah. So a couple of women have been reported of being shoved down the stairs.
Right.
Looking through all some of the hauntings that I found, women are definitely more targeted.
Yeah, I was about to ask because, I mean, even the fellow's wife, they got pushed down the stairs. And then you mentioned, like, lots of women are attacked. Yes. Oh, okay.
Most of the stories that I have are women being attacked or having an experience that's not fun.
Sounds like those ghosts are little bitches.
Yes, so Stark is a notorious ghost that is throughout the building, or at least on the second floor.
Yeah.
Above where the bar is. Another ghost is the woman in white.
Oh.
Her story is the bartender witnessed a woman in white dressed from the 1800s walking through the bar, clear as day, walking through the bar.
Okay.
She looked so real and so authentic that he thought that she was an actor.
Yeah.
And that she was coming up to the bar to order a drink.
Right.
To which she disappeared.
Oh.
It's said in this experience that multiple people in the room saw her. And
so it wasn't just him.
No. It was a packed bar.
Damn.
And this woman dressed in the 1800s was walking through the bar. And when she disappeared, the whole room was like, oh.
What just happened?
What the fuck? So
where'd she go?
She appears again in front of the manager. So another story is that she appears on the top of the stairs up to the second floor above the main bar. She looks so real that the manager asks her, can I help you? Because I guess they don't want people going upstairs. And so she's at the top of the stairs. Yeah. So the manager's like, can I help you? She just disappears right after that.
Dude. What if that Stark fellow pushed her down the stairs? And that's why she's sometimes at the top of the stairs and then sometimes downstairs.
I hope not.
Me too.
I hope not. There's no reason. There was no reason given as to why she was there.
Okay. Well, I'll just hope that that didn't happen then, because that's fully speculation on my part. But
we can theorize. It's all right. But there was no explanation as to why this woman is in. There was no recording death or anything like that.
Right.
So another experience that happened on the main floor is a woman said that she was trapped in the stall of the bathroom.
That. Fuck no.
While it was not locked.
Nope.
So
nope. If I'm pooping, I'm doing my business. You leave me alone.
So she was trying to leave the stall. And
that's worse.
She unlocked it, and she said the door would not open.
What a dick.
And she was freaking out.
Yeah.
And just in logic brain world, right? That doesn't make sense. The door's unlocked. Why is the door not opening? So finally, after a couple minutes of trying, she got so upset. She screamed out, "Let me out! Like, let me open this door!" And then the door just immediately opened afterwards.
Fuck off. What an asshole.
She was crying, upset. And when she came back to the table, she told the staff what had happened, and the staff admitted to the woman that ghosts like to hang around the woman's bathroom. And
they don't have like a fucking warning sign? Like, that's rude.
Yes.
That's rude.
So the bathroom's apparently haunted.
Hey,
that's
sorry.
Nice.
Sometimes you might go pee and not be able to come out for an hour. Like, no. I don't like that.
I would kick that door down. So
seriously.
Another woman claimed that while she was having food with her company, so it would have been another person sitting at the table, she felt her felt her thigh grabbed, then squeezed. She thought it was the person that she was having lunch with, but then it happened again. And the person's hands
were both on the table.
So she just jumped up from the table.
I don't like that.
And she's like, something just grabbed my thigh. Like, she said it was obviously something put her hand on her thigh and then squeezed her thigh.
I don't like that. I don't like getting ghost groped.
So she did not like that at all. Ugh. So on the third and the fourth floor, as I said about the yellow fever, construction workers heard the laughter and the play of children.
Yeah. That's so sad.
That's sad. So definitely eerie up there. The most activity does haunt in the basement, so we'll get there in a second. And then the main floor second.
Uh-huh.
The fourth floor, where the hospitals were, where all the patients died, it's actually not as haunted.
Okay.
But has the most feeling of dread.
Right. Has it been renovated at all? Or did they just, like, start on the third floor and then be like, fuck this, and then, like, stop?
They completely stopped.
Okay,
so, like, literally where the bar is.
Yeah. I mean, that could explain why, like, the downstairs, like, the basement and the second floor have so much activity is because they got renovated.
Yeah.
And then the activity on the next floor, like...
It decreases as it goes up, which is weird. But when you go up to the fourth floor, people experience feeling dread, sorrow, sadness.
Yeah, just heavy.
And heavy, yes, is definitely the experience people have up there.
That's how I feel when I walk into any hospital. So, I mean, it makes sense.
I really expected you to say that's the experience. That's the experience I feel when I walk into any retail store.
Well, I mean, that's also true because, I mean, the sense of, like, hopelessness and despair is there. But, no, every time I walk into a hospital, that's
the feeling. Yeah. So, yeah, if you could imagine yellow fever in Confederate War hospital in 1850s. That's, So,
no.
Fourth floor, not as bad, but feeling of
existential dread.
What you said. Now the basement.
Okay.
The basement.
All right, I've heard some things about the basement. Tell me.
Is the most happening place of this building. There is a ghost.
Okay.
By the name of Toby.
Okay, I hate that name. I don't like that.
Hilarious to me.
I don't like that.
That they named the ghost in the basement Toby.
Uh-huh.
People have seen a smaller-ish shadow move about the basement, so they coined the ghost Toby the boy.
Oh, I hate that.
That is not of a positive spirit.
I don't like
it's
that.
It's definitely negative. So an employee reported that when she went downstairs to go, I think, get more alcohol that was in the basement, she had gotten whatever she needed. As she was turning around to head back up the stairs, she said a shadow had come out of the wall, moved across the room, and was behind a piece of furniture, watching her.
Okay.
She said that she was in this standoff of stare down for several minutes.
Oh,
she did not want to move. She did not know what to do. It freaked her out. She just kind of stood there, and the shadow figure was there the entire time. She said it made her so uneasy. Yeah, this employee is in Ghost Adventures.
Oh, so okay.
So
yeah, no, fuck that.
You can listen. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm like 95% positive.
I think so, because I'm pretty sure I watched that episode.
We watched it together.
Yeah, and I remember her talking about, like, there's this, like, small shadow that was, like, crouched looking at her. The crouch makes it worse. Like, if it was standing, okay, that's a little spooky, but, like, crouched down, like, fuck off. No.
Yes. Nope. You could keep your crawling bullshit fuck over there.
Nope.
So they engaged in a stare down for a little while, and she said she made a beeline up the stairs, that she just booked it and was like, I can't handle this anymore. So
bye.
Took up off the stairs. A local woman also claimed that she was attacked by the ghost in the basement. She was down there, I think, doing a tour, doing her jam, doing something. I can't remember if she was psych or she was doing the tour. But she was alone at some point, and during that time, she was choked and then pushed farther into the basement. She just said that she felt a hand come around her throat, start to squeeze, and then it started backing her. Well, obviously, if someone's got you back up.
Nope, I'm good.
She freaked out. Finally, it stopped. She took off up the stairs, and that was the end of that. I think the only time that she came back was for Ghost Adventures and went down there to explain her experience. But she does not want to go back there anymore.
Nope.
Hard no.
Yeah, no, I got all sorts of goose pimples. No, thank you.
A paranormal investigator proclaims he was partially possessed while doing an investigation in the basement.
Nope, fuck off. Don't like it.
Name that paranormal investigator.
Nick Groff.
Was it Nick?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was
that's
Nick
right.
Groff.
It was Nick. I thought it was Zach, and I was like, of course Zach got partially. No, it was Nick.
No, it was
I remember
Nick,
that. Nick,
ooh, that poor guy.
Yes, he got partially possessed, so that was his claim to fame in the basement. The tours keeps track of some of the things that happen in the basement, and one of the most popular ones is that a woman said that the entire right side of her body had become ice cold.
Oh,
and
I mean some spooky thing is right next to you, lady.
She could also hear voices.
Oh no!
So she was panicking. They rushed her out of the room, and they said when she got out that she was fine. Like it wasn't cold anymore, and she couldn't hear stuff anymore. There is also a pool table in the basement.
Okay.
Anybody playing pool usually gets pushed.
Rude.
While playing.
That's so fucking ruin your pool game. Shit. Mean.
Yes.
I mean, Toby sounds like a dick, so.
Massive.
That makes sense.
Dick. So, Toby in the basement, the woman in white on the main floor, Stark on the second floor, and then the Hauntings, third or fourth. Mm-hmm. Not fun.
Jiminy Christmas.
So that's
a hopping place.
That is
Yowzers.
Moon River Brewing Company. That building.
I still got chills, man.
So, yeah, so they do a tour. You can still go there today and check that out and do that tour. I guess if you're female, you're more often to have something happen to you, and then you can just also go in there. Apparently the food's really good. I went and looked up a Google review.
Ooh.
And was reading some of the stuff because I was like, somebody posts like a good ghost story, but I didn't find anything except for people just being assholes. Like, who didn't like that person staring at me in the bathroom? It's like, you're just putting something out there to just be a butthole. So apparently they have really good food.
Okay. I'm down.
They have good wings.
Oh, I love wings.
So I'd be down to go.
Time to go get some beer and wings in Savannah. Get in the car.
My car.
Yeah. Not my car.
Your
no.
car.
No.
We might not make it.
No, we would not make it. Hard not make it.
Hard no. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a little spooky. It's definitely, if you go in there, you're gonna probably experience something. So, Ghost Avengers went there. Your boys, Shane and Ryan.
Yeah, I love those
from
dudes.
BuzzFeed. They went in there. They didn't. I watched the episode a little bit. They didn't get too much.
Really.
But their investigations are really short.
Yeah, they are. They're very short periods of time, and it's more just one of them like being scared, the other one just yelling that he's an idiot. So. You know,
that's Ryan and Shane, respectively.
Yeah.
When Ryan went into the basement, he said he was fine for a while. He's like, I don't feel anything. But then once he like started kind of like walking around and being like, show yourself, Toby.
Right. Well, I mean, you call them out, they're gonna be like, hey, bitch.
He was like, okay, now my arm hairs are standing up. What the fuck?
No, I don't like this.
And then he started getting really creeped out.
Yeah.
Shane called Toby Tobster.
Oh, I hate that.
And I cried laughing.
Tobster. I don't like that. It sounds like toaster, but with toes. I don't like it. Tobster. I don't like it.
Okay, anyways, what's your topic?
Oh, sorry. Here we are. All right, so I am covering the Queen Mary, which current location is in Long Beach, California, because for some reason I'm just on a California kick.
Why do you
like
keep
this
doing
is my
this?
third story in California. I don't know why, but here we are.
Wait, just to clarify.
Yes.
The Queen Mary is a ship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was like, why is it?
Very cool ship.
Is it a car? Like, how is it currently in Cal? Okay, I just want to make sure that it is a ship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Currently in California.
Tell me.
So we're going to go over some history, which starts with the building of the ship. So the British built this ship, the intention of calling it the Queen Victoria, actually, to keep with the tradition that they had of naming ships that ended with IA. So like names.
Oh, that's a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the time it was a thing.
Oh, okay, because I was like, arr.
Yeah, so they built the ship, and when they went to actually launch the ship, they went to King George V, who that was the king at the time.
What time period is this? Do you know?
1930s.
Okay.
1930s.
Okay.
King George saw the ship. They told him, we have decided to name our new ship after England's greatest queen, and their intention in saying that was actually Queen Victoria. George, George's grandmother.
Right.
George says, oh, my wife, who is Queen Mary, will love that you named the ship after her.
Open mouth, insert foot.
So they changed the name to the Queen Mary.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna name the ship.
I'm so glad the Queen's going to enjoy this ship named after her. That's great.
That's fabulous. That's great. That's 10 out of 10.
That was my favorite. That's why I threw that in there, because that was so good. I was like, that'd be me as a sassy king. Let's go.
Oh, great. My wife. Okay, great.
Beautiful.
Okay. All right, that's great. 10 out of 10.
The Queen Mary is a huge ship. Huge. Very large.
Huge.
So large. She was 1,018 feet long.
Damn.
More than 81,000 tons.
Damn. She's thick.
Yes. Ooh, three or four seeds. For some perspective, the Titanic was only 883 feet long and 46,000 tons.
Damn.
Yes. The only ship that was bigger at the time period was the French sea liner, the Normandy.
Okay.
It's the only one that was bigger.
Those damn French.
Yes. So the French and the British were actually in a race to see who could have the better cruise liner.
I was going to
actually
ask that, but I was like, I know better. The answer is yes.
The answer is a hard yes, because the French and British hate each other at this time.
All time.
Right. The Queen Mary was one of the most powerful ships ever created, and the rudder itself weighed 150 tons. This is a big-ass ship,
So I'm
dude.
assuming it's made out of, like, steel?
Yes.
Okay, not wood.
No, God, no.
Okay, because
no, this is a metal ass bitch.
Okay.
So
thick girl. All right.
Big thick girl. Big thick girl. She had 24 boilers and 4 sets of turbines that generated 160,000 horsepower and 4 propellers.
Well, I mean, she's thick. She better have some horsepower in that trunk.
She a big girl. All of her innovations and strength actually earned her the title the Sovereign Ship of the Seas by Popular Mechanics in 1932. She wasn't completed in 1932. They were working on her.
They already deemed that. They already gave her that title.
They did. Okay. Because it was a lot of technological innovation for the time period. So they're like, ooh, nice. Mm-hmm. She was the fastest ship and held the unofficial record for the fastest ship, crossing the Atlantic with an average speed of 40 knots, which could make the journey in just 4 days.
She that big and that fast?
Oh, yes.
Damn.
So now let's get into her career. On May 27th, 1936 is when she departed from England. She boasted 5 dining areas and lounges, 2 cocktail bars, 3 swimming pools, a grand ballroom,
nice,
a squash court, and even a small hospital. She was a big-ass cruise liner.
So she was specifically built to be a cruise liner.
A luxury cruise liner.
Okay.
So she spent 3 years as the world's grandest ocean liner, which she would carry Hollywood celebrities like Bob Hope and Clark Gable, royalty like the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, and even dignitaries like Winston Churchill. All rode on this boat.
Okay. It's like pinkies up kind of people.
Oh, hard pinkies up, like drinking tea, like nice.
Okay.
So she docked in New York on September of 1939, and that would be the last time she was used as a civilian passenger ship for a long time.
World War II is about to start.
Yes. Actually, in September of 39 is when England entered into World War II.
Okay.
So they actually stripped her down of everything that she had. All of the like nice luxurious stuff, like they filled in the swimming pools or like drained them, took out all of the nice dining areas, turned the cabins into like troop cabins, and she became a troop ship. She was actually painted gray, completely gray. All the windows were blacked out with gray paint, like you couldn't see out, like hard gray for camouflage purposes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, and she was dubbed the Gray Ghost because of how stealthy she was.
She's the Gray Ghost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she is. So at one time, she was actually carrying upwards of 16,000 people on her at once.
Damn.
She participated in D-Day, like all the big things that England did at the time. Like that was her troop ship.
Okay.
Yes, she was actually also outfitted with a something called a degassing coil, which altered her magnetic field to help protect her against enemy magnetic mines from U-boats.
Whoa!
Yeah,
okay,
that's pretty fucking cool.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Oh, that's fancy.
Tell me. So the Queen Mary was assigned an escort ship during this time, which was normal to try and keep, U-boats off of her and like just help
and move her because she thick.
Yes, so they were scheduled to rendezvous off the coast of Ireland. The Queen Mary was on a zigzag course, which was normal to get the U-boats off of her and make sure that she wasn't, gonna get caught by anything. And this other ship was on a straight course.
Okay.
They collided.
Ooh. Well, that other ship died.
Yes, that other ship was actually cut straight in half.
I mean, that's not funny.
It's not, but yeah.
But the fact that the massive ship just cut another ship in half.
Huge mistake.
What did it say who owned that other ship?
It was also owned by the British. It was 2 British ships.
Oops.
Yeah, like they knew about each other. They were intentionally going to meet off the coast of Ireland and
they met.
The skippers didn't pay attention to what they were doing.
Met real hard.
Some dumb shit happens, some bad stuff.
Well, she's also camouflaged, so it's...
Right, it's a little harder to see her just with the waves and the ocean the way it was. There's a gentleman, Alfred Johnson, who is a sailor on the Queen Mary, later recalled, quote, "I said to my mate, I'm sure we're going to hit her. And sure enough, the Queen Mary sliced that cruiser into like a piece of butter, straight through the 6-inch armored plating."
Oh no.
Even though over 100 sailors were saved, 337 of them died in that collision. It wasn't reported if anyone from the Queen Mary died. I'm assuming it was all from that other ship, which was smaller and older, because that ship had actually been manufactured during World War I.
Okay.
So it was an older ship. It was smaller.
Yikes.
I'm assuming all of those people.
Mm-hmm. Why? That's
sad.
That's sad.
That's
unfortunate.
Unnecessary loss of life.
Unnecessary, yes.
Now, after the war was over, Once the war ended in 1947, the Queen Mary required 10 months of work to be retrofitted so she could once again be a commercial passenger ship. So...
Wait. Did you take any damage during that collision?
She did a little bit.
Okay, let's say probably
nothing
not
was like
a lot.
hard noticed or noted. But I'm not sure.
Okay, that's right.
After she had been recommissioned as a commercial passenger ship, like air conditioning was added, everything was like spruced back up to its former glory. Mm-hmm. Airplane travel started becoming more popular in the 1960s. Mm-hmm. So the ship wasn't used as much as it was, so the company who had built it was actually losing money. As a result of that, they auctioned her off to the highest bidder, which was Long Beach, California.
Wait, what?
Yep. Long Beach, California paid $3.4 million to buy this boat.
Long Beach, California. Is Long Beach a city?
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, how does a fucking beach have enough money unless they're charging people? That makes sense, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't...
I mean, that would have been much better if it was just the beach. That would have been a much better story. Okay. I think.
Because that's... I don't know. I know that Long Beach is a city, but the fact that a city is called Long Beach, it's like...
What?
A beach bought a boat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
So they bought her for $3.4 million in 1967. She made her last journey, which was her 1,001st journey across the Atlantic.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Docked and arrived there on December 9th, 1967. She's been there ever since. Hasn't moved.
How did she... Wait.
Yes.
How did she get from the Atlantic to California?
Panama
Canal?
Panama Canal.
Okay.
Yeah. That's its express purpose that it was... Well, one of the express purposes it was built.
Yeah. Wait, the canal was built specifically to get...
Like through, so you didn't have to go all the way around.
I'm having a...
You're okay.
I'm
You're having a time. You're fine.
I thought the Panama Canal was specifically built for the Queen Mary.
No.
And I was like, wait a minute.
No. That was several years earlier.
Okay, I didn't know if the Panama Canal was around at this point, because I was like, that's going to be a journey. Yes. But, okay, Panama Canal is established, and the Queen Mary went through there.
Yeah.
And is now in Long Beach.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my great-grandfather actually, or my grandfather... Great-grandfather? My mom's dad was stationed in Panama while they were building the Panama Canal. He was actually a cavalry soldier.
That's dope as shit.
Yeah. So he was in the cavalry in Vietnam.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I didn't know they had cavalry in Vietnam. But here we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, weird.
All right.
It's the only reason I know the time frame. Because, here we are. So since 1967, when she docked, she's not moved. She is now a floating hotel, haunted attraction, and even a wedding venue. As weird as that is.
She's a floating hotel.
Yes. I mean, she has a lot of cabins, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot.
A lot.
All right, so now let's get into the hauntings, which are a long list. A very long list.
Please tell me all the... Make me cry.
So, the ship made over that 101 transatlantic crossings with 49 recorded deaths during that time. 49.
What the fuck happened?
Let me tell you some things. So there's even though there was only 49 deaths recorded on board, there are at least 150 individual spirits. We're not going to go through the whole list. Okay. We're just going to go through, like, the big hitters.
Okay.
150. That's a fucking lot.
That's a well,
yes.
There's been a lot of activity on that boat.
Oh, so much.
Death and...
bad shit. Bad juju.
Okay, all right.
There, of course, people hear knocks on doors slamming, high-pitched squeals.
Oh, no, I just got cold.
Drastic temperature changes, loud smells. So people will smell like food or perfumes
You said loud smells.
Sorry.
And my brain did not compute what you were trying to say.
That's another one of those southern things. You can smell chlorine in the pool area, even though there's no water. You can hear laughter coming from empty rooms. Like, you'll hear a laugh and be like, oh, somebody's in there. Open the door, nobody's there. 50 feet below the water line where the Queen Mary sits is where the engine rooms are and the boiler rooms.
50 feet?
50 feet down. This is a big-ass ship, dude. Big.
I need pictures.
I will show you a bunch of pictures. I've actually got some really spooky pictures and videos and things to show you. So we're going to enjoy this.
Okay.
So the engine room is 50 feet below the water line. There's a door dubbed Door 13.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
Which is known to have crushed 2 men at least to death.
The door.
The door. Yes.
What the?
Because it's a hatch. If there's a crack in the bottom of the boat or something happens in the engine rooms, it's a door that seals. so that just what happened to the Titanic doesn't happen to this ship.
Yeah,
right?
okay, right.
There's a gentleman named John Pedder, Pedder, who his nickname is Half Hatch Harry, which I don't really understand why that was his nickname, but that's like his noted nickname.
Was he killed in half of a hatch?
It's funny you would say that. He was an 18-year-old fireman who was performing a normal fire drill going through hatch 13, got caught, and crushed to death in door 13.
That's why he's called Half Hatch.
Yep, it's an airtight fire door.
Solved.
People will see him, full apparition, walking down the hallway. Like, people see him in these dark blue coveralls with a big bushy beard. And they see
18 years old.
18 years old, big bushy beard.
Like,
they'll see him.
I'm a girl, but I'm jealous.
Right?
Big beard at 18, okay.
Ooh, manly man. He walks down the hallway toward hatch 13. Once he gets there, he disappears.
Because he died.
Correct. And he's just repeatedly walking to his death over and over again.
Oh.
Which is so fucked up.
Ugh.
People see him walking down the hallway. Sometimes if you're closer to the door than he is, if you get to the door first, he disappears down the hallway. Like, wherever he's at when you hit the door, he disappears. Which kind of freaked me out a little bit, because that like shows, some kind of sentience, which makes me uncomfortable.
No smart ghosts.
Don't like it. Don't like it. Another man that died in the belly of the ship was known as John Henry. He worked in the boiler room and actually died there in the boiler room. It's not clear how he died, because I tried to figure that out. Right. But his body was found in the boiler room.
Okay.
People see a shadowy figure walking in the boiler room and the surrounding areas. So they assume that that's him. Another ghost that sometimes shows up down in the boiler room and then in the stairs leading up to the first class swimming pool area, because, first, second, and third class swimming pools.
Yes.
Depending on your ticket prices, stuff like that. He is known as Grumpy the Growling Ghost.
I don't fuck anything.
Can you guess why he's called that?
Because he fucking growls like an asshole.
That's all he does. That's it. Like, people will hear him. They don't see him, but they'll hear him. I'll play a video for you that you can hear the growling. It's great. Yeah.
If I heard that, that's a class 10 yeet myself out of the nearest window.
Yep, that's like, goodbye. See you the fuck later. Yep. Never, actually. So remember me telling you about the swimming pools?
How they smell like chlorine?
Yes. So another popular place that ghosts are found are in all of those swimming pool areas. Mostly in the first and second class swimming pools.
Why?
So the first class swimming pool, even though they've been closed for over 3 decades, you can see women appearing in 1930s style swimming suits walking around.
Okay.
Like full body apparitions. People will also hear the sounds of splashing in water, even though there's no water.
Probably, I've always theorized that even, like, it doesn't have to necessarily be negative energy, just where there's been so many people for so long, obviously the pool would have had the highest amount of energy next to, like, maybe the bar.
Certainly,
right?
Yeah.
So probably just the repetition of constantly having people there, the constant splashing, the constant this, the constant that. It makes sense that the pool probably has the most happening going on.
So with that, people will hear the splashing, and also they will hear, like, the slapping of wet feet, and then they'll look down and see water footprints.
No!
Like full water footprints leading from the pool to the changing room. With the changing room, the changing rooms specifically in the first class area are one of the most happening places. It's theorized. The reason that is because women in 1930s outfits, the men still can't control themselves because, oh God, I can see your ankles. There is at least one rumor of a reported rape in the changing rooms. So a lot of ghosts are seen in there, and a lot of, like, noises and just spooky stuff happens.
Right.
Screams, things like that.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so that is a really uncomfortable place for me. Back out into the pool area.
Okay.
There is a little girl seen clutching her teddy bear, walking around. No idea why.
Okay.
Then in the second class pool area, we'll move on.
I think that ghost children are the worst.
They freak me the fuck out so bad.
Yeah, because they're small.
Yes, like full grown ass ghosts. That's fine.
Because you're at eye level, and then this little ankle biter shitbag that I can't kick.
They can take me out at the knees. Nope, don't like it. Don't like that.
Tell me about the other pool.
The second class pool, there's a spirit of yet another little girl who is named Jackie Torrin. She's often seen and heard. So people will see her in the pool, splashing around, even though there's no water in the pool.
So the water
is gone,
but it comes back in this apparition? Like
she's floating where she would have in the pool, and you hear the splashy sound.
No, don't like that.
Correct.
No.
I don't either.
No, a floating ghost now.
I'm good. So in this pool area, there were
goosebumps.
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
No.
There were nice, big ass slides, right? These bitches were fancy.
Okay, so we got fancy. Okay,
Correct.
Okay, cool.
The only bad part about these fancy ass slides were if a big wave hit the side of the ship, the whole ship would fucking jerk, right?
Right.
And these are enclosed slides.
Okay.
So if you were in the slide and a wave hit and you jerk, you'd smack your head on the side or on the top or any other area. Okay. And that's what happened to Jackie.
Ooh.
She hit her head, and it's stated on some websites that she broke her neck. Ugh. She hit it so hard.
Damn.
Or she knocked herself unconscious and drowned in the pool.
Slid into the water, and no one saw that shit.
Correct.
I'm going to go with the second theory.
Jackie
I've hit
also
my head on a pool slide, and that shit hurts, but...
Jackie is also seen and heard crying for her parents. Which would make sense if she had drowned in the pool, crying for her parents. That one hurts me a little bit.
Yeah, that hurts my feelings.
The next place that there is a lot of activity is actually called the Queen Salon. It's one of the ship's first-class lounges.
Lounge. Okay, a lounge. Where salons are still lounges here.
Yeah, real fancy. Okay. Real fancy up in here. She's actually a woman in white as well, even though we just talked about a woman in white in your area.
There's white women everywhere. Everywhere.
She's seen in a really elegant white ball gown, dancing around by herself in the shadows.
Get it, girl.
I'm like, go for it, but also sad. Because I don't know what happened to cause her to be there.
Yeah. But she's still independent.
So many of the first-class staterooms, there's an appearance of a tall, dark figure. Dark-haired man, 1930s suits. He's seen in a lot of different rooms. One of the common rooms he is seen in is stateroom B340. It's so haunted that the hauntings are actually noted in the ship's logs from before it stopped being in commission. Yeah, people that would stay in the room would report people knocking on the door. They would go open the door, nobody was there. The lights would turn on and off by themselves.
Don't like that one.
The sinks would turn on and off by themselves.
I don't like that one either.
That one spooks me a lot more than the lights. Because it takes a lot more energy to turn a knob than it does to flip a switch.
Yes.
I don't like it.
No.
Doors open and close by themselves. Some people have even reported the covers being pulled off of them in the middle of the night. And that dark figure standing at the end of their bed.
Now, that's also a class A, yeet yourself out the window.
Yeah, I don't like that one. When somebody's in the room with me, fuck you. No, go away. Yep. I ain't about that. Especially if I'm asleep. Leave me alone.
Do they not let anybody sleep in that room anymore?
No, they will. They'll still let you.
Mother.
If you want to.
No.
They let you know. They're like, hey, by the way, this is super spook, but you're welcome. So.
I hate it.
That's fun. I enjoy that a lot. So there's a playroom for each of the separate, like a kid's room kind of thing for each of the three classes. In the third class playroom for the kids, you can hear laughter of children that used to play here. And then there's also the cries of an infant who is rumored to have died in the playroom shortly after his birth. So that scares me a little. I don't like baby cries.
So many people dying.
49 deaths
49
reported.
Deaths from the travel from Britain to Long Beach.
Or from Britain to New York, back and forth.
Oh, whoa.
Or also during the time that it was on the seas as a military ship.
As a cruise ship.
Cruise ship and military ship. So 49 deaths throughout its entire career.
Okay.
Which is not terrible.
Okay, I guess I misunderstood that. Okay. That's okay. Not terrible.
No, it was only used for 30 years, I think.
Yeah, but 30, still 40. As a warship and only...
And it transported a lot of wounded soldiers too. So people would get wounded in battle, they would be loaded onto the troop ship to be taken back to the mainland to safety. And some would, of course, die on the way.
Okay.
So that was a thing too.
Makes more sense.
The last and spookiest death that I was able to find on the ship occurred in room B474. There's a girl named Dana. She watched her little sister and her mother be strangled to death on the bed in their room.
What?
And then she herself was shot and killed in the bathroom. The killer was never caught.
Whoa.
So Dana's spirit will travel from that room sometimes to the second class pool with some of the other ghost children, because she was not an adult, but she wasn't like a little kid.
Okay.
She's sometimes,
a teenager.
Yeah, sometimes she even travels down to hang out with Grumpy and John Henry in the boiler room. So like she travels around a lot.
Oh, so she's like she's seen throughout the ship.
Yes. Like she moves around, but that was the worst death I was able to find.
Yeah.
Like she seems to be the most calm spirit. Like people will hear her and talk to her, and like Jackie, they'll be able to hear and talk to her too. People will use their EMFs and spirit boxes, that's the word.
Hate that thing.
Yeah, spooky. To talk to all of these spirits. Grumpy only ever growls, but the rest of them will communicate.
Fuck Grumpy.
Yeah, he's a grumpy old man.
Grumpy growling asshole.
Yeah, so that is the story of the Queen Mary, and it's still, of course, open to the public. You can go on paranormal exploration tours. You can pay to actually do an investigation, like lots of other stuff. So
yeah, I don't.
It's a pretty cool place.
Don't like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The story's pretty cool. I'll show you pictures of the ship itself, because it's a beautiful ship, but it's spooky.
Okay, spooky. Which we want.
Yes.
On this, what we want on our podcast.
That's spooky is my fave.
It's definitely spooky. We'll talk about going there.
Yes.
We'll talk about it.
Well, like we can go to California and spend like a week and hit up all the haunted places. That'd be great. Let's do that.
Yeah, we should do like a state thing here.
Yeah.
Do like a state trip, right? So then we pick a bunch of places to go while we're in that state.
That's a great idea.
And if it's a larger state, like divide the state in half.
Yeah. Or quarters, depending.
Depending.
Because California's fucking massive.
Huge. So here we are.
Yes.
Episode 4.
Dunzo.
Spelunzo.
Nice.
So if you want to check us out, see what we're up to, see what we're doing, see what we're about, you can see our website, www.haunther.ibarelyknowher.com.
Beautiful.
If you want to follow along on other places, on any social media, we are on Twitter, and we are on Instagram now.
Beautiful.
When we record,
on the gram.
Record this podcast.
Yes.
We started it. So both Twitter and Instagram have the same handle, HHIBKH podcast. So the acronym Haunt Her, I Barely Know Her podcast.
Beautiful.
So made it the same in both. And if you like us enough, you think we're some pretty cool spooky bitches.
The best spooky bitches, in my opinion.
Like chicken spooky bitches.
Like the spookiest of bitches.
Yeah, we're pretty spooky.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
You can support us on Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon.com/ you guessed it, Haunt Her, I Barely Know Her. And that's about it. Nothing to report, nothing to...
No, nothing else. Just, hang out with us.
Hang out with us.
Let us know how we're doing.
Every Friday.
Yeah.
Bring your snacks. Bring your drink.
Beautiful.
It's
beautiful snacks and drink, ice cream, whatever you need.
And a friendly reminder, drink your water.
Yes, please.
And don't skip meals.
Nope.
It's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be okay. The pandemic will end. We'll all be together again soon.
Hugs and kisses from your family members, not
me. Yeah.
Don't touch me.
I mean, when the pandemic's over, I'll give you a hug.
Yeah.
But,
you stay over there.
Yeah, until then.
Yeah. Until then.
All right.
Haunt her.
I barely know her. Bye.